Okay, let's get started. Yeah, as I said, it's still pretty informal opening remark because not everybody is arriving here. I think there were some substantial storm or something yesterday, right, in Europe, and there are lots of flights canceled. So some people are actually arriving late at night or tomorrow morning at dinner. Anyway, so this is a scheduled opening remark for Korea Qstr-IIT Summer School. Welcome, everybody. The purpose of my opening talk is to give clear aims, goals, and about this summer school. And the reason why I want to do that is that there is a very interesting organizational psychological study showing that if you ask these three key questions to any kind of organization members, for example, how much the members know the goals of the organization, like do you know the goal of the organization, or are you passionate, or is a project connected to your organization, then it turns out that the probability that you say yes to any of this is very, very low. And in terms of soccer, it's almost like only four players know where the goal is, and the two people only cares about where the goal is, and two understands their own position or roles. It's like a children's soccer. That's how the adult organization works in general. And also 9 are fighting within the team. And this is not kind of funny kind of situation, but it actually can happen in this kind of summer school. So that's why I think it's important to talk about something like this, where the goal is, and where your position is, and what this game is about. Okay. So this is copied from our website on the summer school. The key objectives of the summer school is to create lasting networks through a face-to-face interaction among the participants. So this is really your benefit, right? This probably is the biggest benefit for all of you. Unlike conference or any other superficial, I would say, summer school, this one is designed to be very intense in terms of human interaction. And the people who participated in last year's summer school can testify that it generates hopefully longer lasting kind of interaction, and potentially also it works in a really distant future, not within 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, but longer. And that could be very important for example, finding a faculty position across different parts of the world, right? And also for us, from the organizer point of view, finding or fostering lasting collaborations to address the problem of consciousness. So that's the sort of bigger goal of this, both Warrior Structure project and also IIT side of this, perspective. And then this is a little bit more sort of secondary in a sense for you guys, is that producing the outputs in the formats that are shareable with the world. So if you generate something that is only restricted to you, then that's not consistent with the goal of this thing. I want you to basically express and share the ideas. And the part of the reason we support your accommodation and things like that is in place for this, in a sense. All right. So just be open to share your ideas to the world. So in slightly more concrete terms, I just replaced this, and so or my goal, replace this thing for your own perspective is maybe upon generating the connections, learning a lot. But the learning a lot is again secondary. So we explicitly asked the lecturers. Unlike IIT summer school over the last few years, we want them not to be, giving a lecture which is very knowledge delivery heavy. Okay, so rather each of the lectures is designed to be roughly like 30 minutes. Okay, and then followed by the question and answers and discussions plus some kind of break, so that each morning in the first week will be roughly 4 topics per day from 9 a.m. to 12:40 or something like that. So ideally 30 minutes plus 15, 20 minutes interaction, and then go to the next. And then so the details are not to be kind of expected, but learning is basically on your own, and then I hope that, you already learned a lot, and I can see a lot of effort put on into the, journal club. So I'm already, hopeful for this. And then if you have already participated in some other summer school, you may also feel that this kind of intense, 2 weeks of the interaction is super nice. And then I had a lots of ideas, and then, very excited and motivated. Then coming back to the original, environment, you lose everything, right? And you get kind of depressed, or you become more motivated to go to this another summer school. But, it's a repetition of the same thing. It doesn't last. So for your benefit, on your own benefit, we also designed the second week to be really focusing on generating the tangible outputs rather than just absorbing, new knowledge, right? And my guess is that, you will probably generate at least 10 good questions. And then among that, maybe at least 3 potential, paper plans. And then 1 could be usable kind of idea. But, I'm kind of encouraging this kind of thing to the lab people to generate, every day. I think you can probably do this during this, workshop. Just take notes about your ideas, right? What you thought would be potentially interesting and also useful. And then you have a time to present your ideas and then shape your stuff in the second week, especially Friday and Wednesday. That's the sort of the final output stage. And also, if you are pretty good, then you can already, prepare the Google Doc for 1 page, abstract plus, outline of the paper. And sometimes, this happens really. And indeed, Francesco kind of, sort of, generate the paper out of this already, right? So that's good. And then, so the more societal kind of, organizational kind of goal is that we want to also find the talents for the future collaborations. In fact, Francesco was last year's participant, and also we hired him as a postdoc after that. But that's a good thing. And he already wrote several papers. So that's really great. Yeah, so we have the Korea Structure Grant that we have in Japan lasts until 2028 March. And towards the last 2 years, probably we have relatively good excess money. So if you want to come further collaborations or, postdoc, that's relatively easy to do. And also we want to renew this, center grant in Japan for another 5 years. So that's for our, a benefit. And your outputs will be very, very positive for this thing. And because this, summer school is not something that the Japanese people do all the time, They find it, oh, that's cool. And then, we say that, oh, this is the output. Then they would be probably impressed. And then in terms of the society, I mean, as I said, I want you to share the output to the world. And then, of course, consciousness and quality are the things that many people actually have as a sort of the kind of a toothbrush-like, theory for everybody. You may have heard of this, but everybody, including scientists and non-scientists, has their own toothbrush, right? They have a favorite consciousness theory, but they don't want to use other people's toothbrush. So that's a kind of a status of the theory of the consciousness. But I would further add that you should actually change the toothbrush every 3 months, right? And then try different brands as well. That's what we wanted you to do. And so, yeah, the outputs and the resource that can be understandable and also shareable to other people, that's pretty important as a society level. So that's pretty much my opening kind of remark. But from here, I want to just go through the sort of the administrative Q&A kind of things, if you have. If it's very, personal or private things, then probably it's better to do that after the break. And then me or, TA can probably solve this. So, but the overall goal of this, administrative rules or whatever is that I basically like the chaotic and anarchistic kind of approach in general. So as long as your behaviors or attitudes are consistent with this overall goal, right? That's what I said. Then we can try to bend the rules everywhere, but with some limit that I do not pose, but other people may pose. So today, after this, TAs probably just have a little bit of the meeting afterwards. Maybe TA, can you just stand up and then say a few words, introduction, maybe from, maybe come you one by one? Just,
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Francesco Elia. I'm a postdoc in Nao's lab. And I used to be, well, during my PhD, I work at Giulio Tononi's lab with Matteo and many other people. And also, I should mention that there are two TAs that are on their way here. So Mikko and Matteo Paganin. And I was, as now mentioned, a participant last year summer school, which was an amazing experience. And I really wish from the bottom of my heart that it's going to be an amazing experience for you guys as well this year. So if you need anything, please do not hesitate to reach out on Zoom or in person, on Slack or in person, and we will figure this out. Sure.
I'm Shosuke Nishimoto, and I was also the participant the summer school last year, and this year I serve as a TA. And my background is systems neuroscience. I'm currently working on post-diction in mice, and and yeah, also I'm collaborating with Ryota there about on the research project on post-diction in AI thing. And what I want to work on this summer school is multi-time scale things in perception. And yeah, so I'd like to think about MTS, multi-time scale, from IIT viewpoint. And now also I'm working on a behavior experiment in mice, so I can contribute to design the experiment to demonstrate like unique aspects, unique prediction of IIT. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So, hi everyone, my name is Jeremiah. So I work with the lab of Giulio. I work especially a lot with Matteo here, and I've worked also a bit with Francesco. So I do a lot in this IIT world, and I have a kind of weird background for IIT. I'm actually a linguist. I don't talk math from totally language perspective. And I started working with Giulio with a kind of strange proposal about 6 years ago now, 5 maybe, where I was fascinated by IIT just because I'm a nerd and I like reading interesting stuff about consciousness. And through some twists of fate, Giulio and I met, and I kind of presented to him saying, hey, I'd love to help you guys with communication, because if you open a standard IIT paper, yeah, I think you guys probably know, it's maybe not so easy to understand, especially back in 2018 and so on. And so I presented that idea saying, hey, I'm also trying to do a PhD at some point. I've worked in communication, let's say, yeah, as my profession for about 15 years. And I pitched that to Julia. I said, look, I'd love to do a deep dive communication project with you guys and make a PhD out of it. And he said, wow, I've never heard of that. Let's try. And then, yeah, the rest is history. So I worked closely with the lab. And the IIT Wiki was kind of like my PhD project, you could say. And hopefully some of you guys have seen that resource. I hope it's been useful. You'll tell us if it hasn't been. Yeah, and I've also had the pleasure of helping author a couple of the IIT papers in the last years. Not math ones, but conceptual ones and so on. And we'll see. Hopefully I will continue working with the lab in the coming years, more on the side of ontological implications of the theory. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's me. And I live in, I'm American, but I live in Germany, in Munich.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aniko, and I am currently a postdoctoral research fellow. I did my PhD with Nao, and yes, just to give a short introduction about my background, I actually first learned about IIT in 2016 when I did my master's, and I worked on a TMS EEG project implementing the perturbational complexity index. And so, yeah, that was a very long time ago. But after that, and some years of working with different research groups as research assistant, I moved to Australia in 2021. And then I started to do my PhD with Nao. And I was working on dissociative experiences. And I also did an EEG fMRI project on local sleep. So I am definitely coming from this experimentalist background. And if anyone wants to talk about different psychological or neuroscience topics on humans and how we can kind of address these topics within qualia structure and IIT, I'm very excited to talk to you. And also, in case you need any help with anything or yeah, ever have any questions, I'm very happy to help. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kyoko. I'm working with Nao in ATL, Nao's Japanese affiliation as a researcher. And I'm now currently applying for the PhD in Nao's lab. So I finished my master's in neuroscience using human scalp EEG and brain mass interface or something. And now currently I'm working on the diversity indices, such as magnitude and spread and everything. And I'm applying them to the similarity rating test. And I think we can collaborate with IIT to extend the diversity indices a little bit and apply to IIT. Yeah, and I'm also really fascinated to IIT. So in 2020, I visited Julio's lab for a short summer intern, and that was the first time to see Matteo and Francesco. So it's already 6 years. Yeah, so yeah. So I'm really happy to collaborate and discuss with IIT things. And also as a TA, please ask me everything I can help you. Yeah, so nice to meet you.
Okay, so back to me again. I still think it's probably okay, not without any break, right? Still. By the way, I forgot to introduce this meeting recording device or app. I think I might have mentioned it in Slack a little bit, no? Granora. So who knows Granora? Okay, only part of it. So it's an app. I don't know if I can show you. This one. This G thing here. And that's free, at least for Mac and also Apple iPhone. And what it does is sort of the ongoing transcription of the conversation. And also generating some kind of meeting notes right after the meeting automatically. And it also seamlessly connects with various kind of software like Zoom and also calendar and many other things. So it's pretty useful. And in particular, for you guys kind of activity, I think it's really useful to install it because is this one? Yeah. During the lecture as well as also the small group discussion, it allows you to focus on listening or taking notes. And also this one allows you to take notes directly and then incorporate that note into the AI generated note, enhanced note, so-called. So it's easier for you to review it later. I strongly recommend this. But is he coming to the here? I mean, I forgot his name. The other guy, the TA. Will is coming today, tomorrow,
Yeah, today, yeah.
later. Okay. So that we will actually introduce this thing, but I forgot his name. Sorry. Anyway, so after this, TA I introduced, and then dinner. I think dinner ticket is included, right?
Yes. So that is very important that so it's very important that you need to download the app, and you need the app, and you need the QR code to access the dinner. And I will remind everyone about this. But also, please remind everyone, and if you see someone, so download the app. Does anyone have any problems with the app? No. Amazing.
And that has the dinner ticket and also breakfast and the lunch ticket, right? Oh. Right. So I actually have never had dinner here in the last 3 years, but I usually always go to that main island. But here dinner is decent, right? Probably. Oh, really? Yeah. So that's definitely an option for the dinner, especially for today. Once today, and then also the interview. Hey, Vidi. But every day we are scheduled to finish at least 6:12 to 6:20, so that the next ride to the mainland is 6:40. So that if you want to have a dinner in mainland, you can take it. Dinner time here can be flexible, right? Is it? Already? Here. Lunchtime is very fixed. But a dinner, maybe you just go there and then, yeah, they can probably provide something. But let's see about this dinner. Okay, and then lecture-wise, I already explained, so that's fine. And the food, breakfast and lunch. So lunch is pretty strict, so we need to finish here 12:40 or so, and then go there. Everybody around 1. And then small group discussion. I already gave some kind of written documents on how you do it, but the small change to this is that Francisco and I discussed a little bit, and on Monday, tomorrow, presumably you are still not super kind of relaxed and still not friendly. We make the group into 6. Okay, so each group has 6 people or so.
Yes, there is 1 or 2 that have yeah. The group.
Right. Okay. And then on a Tuesday, it will be further divided into 8 groups. Okay. And that will probably make it one group for 4 person or something like that. And judging from last several years of the summer school, I think you guys probably like 8 groups. We kind of sensed and also checked your level of the expression and discussion kind of oriented nature from also journal club and so on. But let us know which one you preferred by the end of Tuesday. Okay. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we will go with whichever format you would like. And then the good thing about 6 group is that you can have a maximum 20 minutes, and that this is really strict actually. Again, because of the board time. The first group presentation will be scheduled at 4:20, and the second one is 4:40. and so on. So 20 minutes, each. So that's the time of the start of the each group's, kind of a report of what you guys discussed. And then ideally, you can present, things in 10 minutes or less, and then 10 minutes in terms of the Q&A with the faculty over there. And each group doesn't have to be there at that time, I know, except for your, presentation time, because judging from last year's experience, you will be super exhausted at this time. So I think it's probably good to keep some kind of energy and also focus by taking at least some break. Anyway, and then the presenting faculty. So in the beginning, the morning, usually 4 to 5 faculty presents the lecture, and they are forced to be there throughout these 2 hours if they presented, right? But if you are not presenting tomorrow, BD, then you are free to take a break or take the spritz or whatever in the downstairs. And also, if non-participating, non-lecture giving faculty should be there, you think, then just communicate through TA to ask them to be there, during your presentation time. Is there any question about this small group discussion format? Fine. And the group assignment will be already available, or did we open it or not? Yeah, Matteo. For the discussion. For discussion, I need to check with Luigi, but by default, I thought that there are lots of space outside.
That would rain.
Yeah, if it rains, that's something that I haven't actually thought about. Yeah, but again, using this granola, that works even outside environment, and so can record all the conversation and then taking notes is pretty easy. Yeah. Yeah. So somebody who has an Apple or yeah. Upload the summary. Yeah, that's good. Also, Gemini and also GPT also has a mode of audio input, right? And that can also work as a transcript of the meeting. Yeah, that's what I also felt, right? Yeah, but granola actually works for a really long time. I sometimes forget to turn off, and the whole 24 hours of my personal activity is summarized afterwards, Anyway, any other question about this? So basically, there are lots of seats and also also areas around here that should be easy to use. And the time of the also I remember small discussion should start from 2:20. That's what Luigi suggested. So one is the starting of the lunch. And then after that, if you need nap or something, just eat really quickly and then take a nap and then coming back around the 12 to 2:20. And check with the TA who is moderating your session where you are meeting. Okay. And the faculty also, please join in any group if you want. Or you can also take a break, especially if you are a presenter. I think if you're a presenter, you probably want to take a break because you are asked to be there for the reporting back session for 2 hours straight at the end. Anything else? Fine. And then about a break during the Saturday, Sunday, some people are potentially still confused, including Christoph, who didn't book the hotel on Saturday. And realize it's today. So everybody's fine with this? Okay, that's good. Hotel to travel to Bologna And also Bologna to Bertinoro is fixed in terms of time and also location. And if you don't take that, you can still go there, okay? Like taking the bus and also train and so, taxi, but it's just costly, okay? And so if you decide not to take the bus, maybe it's better for you guys to tell us. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's here. So this is still tentative, so-called tentative summer program for summer school. You should be able to go there from this original summer school in Italy document. I know it's kind of confusing that I generated all of these things, but because nobody complained until now, so I didn't know. And you can also go to this document from our homepage. That's how you get there. But anyway, if you go to this tentative program summer school, then there is this time. Also, I sent you, I think, the final scheduling document here for the lecture. And then that one has this bus information here and here. Okay. And in general, if you have question, then it's probably best to ask question to general, Slack, SMSC 2025. I may not respond to you guys, but this one is the fastest. Yes.
Yeah, I just point the attention to the fact that the bus from Baltimore has to go back to the station, but to the airport.
Yes.
This is too much.
Yeah, Kalam. Yeah. I think it's 5 minutes by bus or by taxi or something. Yeah. Okay. About the bus. Or coming back to this. So no question about the breaking days, Saturday, Sunday? Fine. Okay. And then the second week, so check in on Sunday, and then food will be, I think food in Bertino is all sort of buffet style, right? Unlike here.
No. You choose the option and leave.
Okay. Well, whatever. But it's probably easier, I heard, to talk to other people. Here, you may see it may not be that easy to talk, but they say they also reform the kitchen, so a restaurant. So I'm not so sure. Table, I don't know what it means. Then the project. So this one. This is important actually. I've shared this document with you guys, by the way, on Slack. So you can go to this second week project document. So this is the kind of an idea link in a sense for you. Anytime during this week, if you have a project idea that you want to pursue for the second week or future, just write your email address and on the first also name and the potential collaborators or need help in the expertise, and then category of a project, and then title and abstract, and also link to the project. Okay, and then on Monday of the second week, we go through all the projects, and then there at the time for the faculty remaining there, and also all the students will be there, and then try to find match or not match for this. Last year, I think many people were kind of shy probably, but until the end of the first week, there was only like 1 or 2 proposals. But on the morning of the Monday, there were like in the end 70 proposals or something like that. contributed by one person, 7 proposal. Especially that was a very, impressive Junko. But yeah, pretty much everybody has 1 or 2 proposal. So this year, if it's too much, then we might need to ask you guys to prioritize which one you want to present for one person. But use this. You can actually modify it after submission. So it's good to probably write as you come up with your idea. And then the presentation on Monday will be just a sort of a screening of all the possible projects. And then Wednesday and Friday will be more developed version of the presentation. So Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, and Tuesday afternoon, you're basically free to do whatever. Really free. And I don't know how it looks like over there, but last year there were multiple kind of park-like place, and then you can choose wherever you want, and then just ask Julia, please come and meet me at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. there, and then discuss this, blah blah blah. That happened. Okay. And then if the first week talk has some kind of leftover components, then Tuesday and Thursday morning we may have some kind of special session by primary faculty to talk about something, but you don't need to attend. Some people were already really committed, and already last year, yeah, some students worked until 3 a.m. or something like that and then even completed the psychophysics projects in the first week, the 1 week, as a just pilot prototype. And then that continued until now to, generate the papers. That's pretty good. All right, appointment with the faculty I already mentioned. Is there any question about this, Oma? Okay. And then about what happens afterwards. So first thing I can mention is that the Fourier structure grant meeting that Hayato and also Masafumi over there will be there is organized in next year February. And if we have enough funding and also some kind of justification we can do, then we can potentially invite you guys there, and then to further collaboration. That's one possibility. And then visiting ATR, like what Aniko is doing right now. 2 months of visiting Japan is relatively easy for us to arrange. And also postdoc opportunity. Me, Hayato, or Masafumi, you can ask. And then also book chapters. We are also thinking about organizing a book that is not conventional, mainly not only the standard review type book chapter, but more to do with a very avant-garde kind of discussion or idea-oriented kind of conversation between the people from different fields to facilitate record of something that is half-baked kind of thing. And then that's what we are trying to do, and then maybe you can contribute to that. And I don't know whether IIT people had some agenda for the future plan. Do you know if anything is happening afterwards? No. Okay. Yeah, we need to ask Julia. If you don't have anything else, then maybe we can take maybe 10-minute break. Oh yeah. That's obvious, right? But the last one is a half past. Okay.
And if you here, which is very for one. So in no case, it's more convenient to keep on a yeah.
Yeah, we have done this several times.
Yes.
And the interesting thing is that there was one case that the auto taxi also wanted to go back home really early, so they speeded, and then he was fined for 100 euro. So we paid to them 100 euro, and then he paid to the motor taxi police 100 euro. So yeah, so that was very scary. Anyway, anything else? Then after this, yeah, let's take 10-minute break, and then from 4, can I ask the participants and also participating faculty to give a self-introduction? And if you have already put, one slide, you can also put it to here. And you don't need to also, use the slide, okay? I just put the slide information there. So. Which one?
See,
Oh,
the
this one.
form for the slide. Or this one.
Self-introduction. You can't open?